So, it's an early evening ride, and this evening I've come out to test the new higher bitrate recording mode. So, same resolution, 1080p 30 FPS, but I'm testing the new 30 megabits per second bitrate to see if the higher bitrate smooths out any of the video at high speed. I mean, I'm currently doing 90 miles an hour. I'm on the Scott Addict eride 2025 model. But I'm anticipating on this ride to be riding most of the ride above 16 miles an hour. So shouldn't really be leaning on the battery too much. I've got a few big hills. But without the range extender, I'll probably be able to get up in eco or sport, no problem. Turbo really is only for the steepest of Peak District hills, for me anyway. Don't usually ride at this time. We'll have a lot of people travelling home, rushing, tired. I've got the Garmin radar on. And I've got about an hour of sunlight, but I'm hoping to get about 20 miles in. But I've got a front light, you won't be able to see, it's the Raveman under the Garmin computer. I've got the Garmin light, a radar. I've also got a battery pack on the back of my cycle helmet that gives me more power for my video glasses, more hours of recording. But it's also got a built-in nightlight, LEDs with loads of different flashing modes, so I should be lit up. $18 miles an hour up that little ramp. I've got my Marla Pulsar 1 display set to show me my own wattage. I'm at 264. Excuse me. I've just topped up my tyres. I think I may have gone slightly over because I feel a little rattly on the bike. But sometimes that can simply be the little wash nut at the bottom of your valve stem. So I'll check that in a bit. I'm putting out 300 watts here. Heart rate's at 155. Usually on my longer rides, I ease myself in, but this is going to be a smash fest. It's not what I'm used to. Can you get any closer? One and a half meters, 1.5 inch. So she was giving me. It's a new terminal at Manchester Airport. Keeps me awake at night. My word, this bike glides. I'm putting out 328 and doing 20 miles an hour. Just easy to hold it at 20. Just glides. About to go downhill. I hate cycling at this time. Pushing about 200 watts downhill, 21 miles an hour. Just clean my bike. Go up the Honeybee Hill, the back end of Manchester Airport. Do I remain seated or stand? Let's see. What's difficult about this is it has a false flat at the top. So you do the steepest part and you think to yourself, I'm done. And it has about another 100 yards or so. And they're probably like 4 or 5%. But if you go too quick up the first part and you gas up, that latter part, the falls flat, is where you redline, because you put all your effort in early on. So it's starting to flatten out here. I'm putting out 400 watts. I'm in the middle level 2 assist. Right, it's at 5% here. It's the full summit. 5% still a climb. It's at 4, 3, 2. Knock it down to eco. 1%, We're still climbing. Now it's 2%. Yeah. So, previous experience of going up, that tells me the steepest part at the beginning isn't the hardest. The steepest part, you just get up because you can see it visually. But it's that falls flat because it just drags. As long as you pace the hard bit, I find the rest of it I'm fine with. Oh great, straight into a headwind. Excuse me, you don't want to see that in 3K. Starting to get a bit chilly now. What the heck's going on with these glasses? Charging, charging end, charging, charging end, charging, charging end. Shut up. Right, I need to sort this out. I've got to pull over. Woo! Bit of downhill, eh? Yeehaw! And then out of the saddle, about 400 watts. 17 miles an hour up the top of that hill. Man and machine working in synergy there. The bike in eco just giving me a little nudge. Going up this hill 16. All that in eco. Because this beauty of a bike is only 11.4 kilos. You can go out and buy an aluminium gravel bike that weighs the same as this. So what I'm finding is in eco mode, the amount of push it's giving me is quite significant for the lowest level, and I've turned it down by 20%. I think now it can peak around 80, maybe 90 watts maximum to assist my effort. So if I'm putting 400 up the hill, it'll give me 100 extra. Just look at this. I'm into a headwind, 19 miles an hour. Nice consistent 250 watts for me. Beautiful. Today is also my first ride in my Van Rysel endurance bib shorts. Previously I just wore, I'll be honest with you, it was a cheap pair of cycling shorts from Aldi. I had two pairs, probably done 7,000 miles on the two, but the chamois worn out on both. Never had a pair of bib shorts before, so I went in Decathlon, grabbed a handful of bib shorts, went into the changing room. There's no prices on the tags, so I was testing them on blind. So I thought, oh, which one's which? So I decided what I would do in the name of science is test, put on each pair, see how they feel, see how the straps were over my shoulder, how the compression was on my thighs, because I've got quite muscular thighs from all my years playing football. Might use legs. So I tried on 3 pairs, decided which ones I was getting, took them to the till, threw them in the bucket, and when it came up the price I realised I had unknowingly chose the dearest pair. I thought, well, clearly they must be the best. And seeing that my last 6 years on numerous bikes has been on two pairs of £10 Audi cycle shorts, I thought it's about time I treated myself. And the only thing I'm finding weird is the waistband is roughly where you would have a chest strap, maybe just a tiny bit lower, and it just feels a bit weird. One of the pairs of the bib shorts, the straps were about as thick as my finger, and they pulled right into your shoulders. I thought, can you imagine that for 5 or 6 hours in the Peak District? So the ones I've got now, I'd say each strap's about 2.5 inch wide, so obviously that spreads out the pressure. If I move my shoulders up, I can feel something's there, but when I'm nice and tucked in on the bike, I can barely feel them. And in terms of the chamois, I can barely feel my seat. Or should I say saddle? I do apologise for the wrong cycling terminology. Right, I'll see you soon. I can't wait to get home and check out this higher bit rate, 30 megabits per second. The only thing is, it takes the recording storage time on my glasses down from about 4 hours, I think. 3 hours 45, I think it is. At 16 megabits per second, you have loads of options to reduce it. I wouldn't recommend it. When I selected this new higher bitrate, it says 1 hour 45, which to me isn't a lot. But if you compare it to the Meta Vanguard glasses, or a lot of the other POV video glasses, that's still a lot. But when I'm out in the Peak District, I can be out for 4 or 5 hours. And yeah, I don't want to record the whole ride, but quite regularly I will record more than 2 hours. But I can take that into consideration. On smaller rides like this, I can choose the higher rate. At 400 watts in the middle level, I'm going up a 3% at 16 miles an hour. That's what I love about these bikes. It's not cheating, it just enhances your effort. If you've only got an hour or so, do a water grind up a 3% at 5 miles an hour, or for the same effort do 12, 13 miles an hour. Also, with me being in my late 40s, I'm very aware that grinding up climbs at 60 RPM puts a huge stress on your knees. And all the years I played football, sports, running, jogging, anything I can do to increase my longevity of physical attribute, you know, what I'm able to do going into my 60s, it's another reason to ride a bike like this. Also, you get purists cycling on 7-8 kilo bikes doing 20 miles an hour. Well, I'm cycling 18, 19 miles an hour into a headwind on a bike that weighs 11.4, putting out 304 watts. So if anyone wants to tell me I'm not pushing or getting any fitness gains, you're wrong. In the next few miles, because I've not eaten since lunchtime and it's nearly 6, I'm going to pull over and have a flapjack. Whew. 13 degrees at 6 o'clock in March, 6 p.m. It's breezy, but then the next few days is supposed to be very, very, very settled. Originally I was planning on going out tomorrow, but forgot we had plans. Oh God. Right, people, I came to that hill and I've got the Marla Pulsar 1 display with up and down, so I thought I'll knock it up to sport level 2. I hit the hill, thought, oh, has it changed to level 2 yet? Look down, I'd accidentally put it down to level nothing, no assist. And then by the time it went up to sport, I was at the top. I make myself laugh sometimes. So I'm cruising along at 18 miles an hour into a headwind. So I'm just thinking, I'm doing a bit of a loop. By the time I turn around and head towards home, I will have a tailwind. A tailwind. My word. That was his Viagra mobile. Whatever floats your boat. Does nothing for me. Although my Mazda CX-5 2.2 twin turbo can shift. But the family have told me I'm not allowed to give it the beans. So I have to save the beans for the bike. No beans for Jack. I keep looking down and thinking I'm doing 20 miles an hour. If I was on my Ribble SLE, I'd be thinking, you're gonna blow up, lad. Slow down. But this bike is just, yeah, it's 1.5 kilos lighter. Ignore the motor. I'm not even using the motor. My Ribble has got Michelin Protect tyres, 30C, heavy, I think they're about 550 grams each, with your standard butyl tubes. This Scott Addict has got the Schwalbe 1, and these are race tyres. These are also 30C, but I took out the butyl tubes and put in Cyclame TPUs, metal valve types. I think they were about 135 each. Sorry, 35 grams each. So save 200 grams on the weight of the bike. Excuse me, I'm going to pull over soon and get a snack. I've just noticed my pace has dipped. The temperature's are dropping slightly. I'm out of the sun now. So these houses are coming up now. I've been this way before. I'm going to pull over. Take on some fluids and get some flapjack in and pull my socks up as well. My aero socks have come down. See you in a bit. Pulled over, couple of little flapjack biscuit things, swig a drink, pulled the aero socks up. I had a look on the map to see where the heck I am. Turns out I've rode further out than I thought. So this should take me into Knutsford. I could cycle through Tatton Park, but I can't because it's shut. It's not like Dun & Massey where, as a cyclist, you can lift your bike over the gate. It's not even the gate, it's like a stile. Steps. Yeah, so I'm just coming into Knutsford now. Just seeing my average speed's around 16.5. Not really leaning on this motor tonight. I've only used 14%. 13 because it wasn't even fully charged. What a beautiful evening. Beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. Just me, the tarmac, podcasting me here. Although, these are open here, by the way. I can hear everything. And also I got a notification on my Garmin of a car approaching. Beautiful radar. With my glasses on, I can no longer see. I can no longer make out the Garmin, so I'm going to pull over, turn the brightness down, but have the backlight stay on till I get home. As long as it's on about 40-50%, I can make it out at all times. Coming up to 12 miles in, 16.5 miles an hour average. I wonder how many watts I put out today on average. 244 watts average. Not bad for an old man. Hey, Scoop. Ah. Yeah, I think I definitely got a tad too much air in these tyres. Just a little. I'm going to turn you off for a minute. Consider yourself part of the furniture. Do. It's clear we're zooming along at 21 miles an hour. 323 watts. Not even out of breath. 352. I have bradycardia, which means my resting heart rate is really low. So my average heart rate by the time I get home off a ride is usually quite low. My last Peak District smash, I got home, my average heart rate was 127. So the only negative I find is it can take me a while to get warmed up, to get my heart rate, to get my muscles into the flow, the zone. Sometimes my worst part of my ride is the first 10 miles. And if I'm on a 60-mile ride, my best 10 miles is the last 10. And that's not because I know it's the last 10 mentally. It's because physically at that point, I'm warmed up and everything just flows. But occasionally, in the summer, if I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go up in the Peak District, the first 10 miles, my legs are like lead weights. Nothing wants to work. Absolutely nothing. No, don't try and change your settings on your Garmin at 20 miles an hour downhill. I'm trying to get my backlight to stay on. Display, backlight, stay on. Have I done it? Nope. Shouldn't be doing this. My bad influence. Don't do this at home, kids. Don't do this at home. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, my nemesis, these lights. My absolute nemesis. You build up speed downhill. Someone put lights at the bottom of the hill, and you build up to 25 miles an hour and the lights go on red. You watch them do it now. I hate them. And do you know why I don't like stopping at these lights? I'm all right today, look. because look what comes after. Straight uphill. So what you need is the speed going into it. I'm going to get out of the saddle and probably put out 500 watts plus. Garmin, they tell me when I go home anyway. I'm out of the saddle, I'm back in. I saw 680 then. Yeehaw! I thought I'd put it up to level 2 then. Oh, come on, Leon, you smashed up that then in eco. You leg end. Wonder if I could get home with an average speed of 17 miles an hour, I'll be happy with that. I've got a hill coming up. What I like to do in this little hill is stop at the top, have a swig of drink, because after that, it's a smash fest for about 8 miles. Undulating lanes, sharp bends, that leads me all the way to Ashley. Lanes are awful. Right, here we go. This is level 2. What can level 2 do? Right. Go down 2 gears. I'm doing 16. It's about 7% this hill. Got to the stop at 15 miles an hour. What a weapon. Wish I could start again. Temperatures are dropping. 300 watts, 23 miles an hour. Bike flies on these TPU tubes. I'm on 16.9 miles an hour average. I would love to get home with 17 miles an hour average over 20 odd miles. Be a first for me. My bikes are all pretty heavy. I had one quick bike, which was the, I think it was from about 2016, which was the Ribble Sportif Racing. It was an old rim brake carbon fibre bike. Very, 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 very stiff, very, I'd say it was uncomfortable. Bought that a couple of years ago. And the reason why I bought it is I paid 300 odd quid. And it had Ultegra. It's full Ultegra, 11 speed. What's that, R8000? It was full Ultegra and it had 50mm deep section, halo carburetor, carbon fibre wheels. And yeah, it spun up to a nice speed. I think the bike was a 58, if my memory serves me right. And I'm 182 centimetres, which means I'm 5'11.5", 6 foot with my shoes and socks on. So it was a little bit too big. To cut a long story short, on its first ever proper ride out 30 miles, I remember coming home from Warrington and I remember hitting this long straight. I got the bike up to about 22 miles an hour. I got into a nice, not totally aero, but tucked in on the hoods. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I've been cruising at like 22, 23 miles an hour for about 6 miles. And it was so easy. I thought, yeah, I'll take this bike out every so often for like 30, 40 mile smashes. Not up in the Peak District, because I only had an 1128 cassette. But 11 speed cassette. And it wasn't a wide range cassette, 1128. The ratios were so close. So changing gears was beautiful. You change gear and it was very, very, very subtle, the change in your cadence. So that day coming home from Warrington was half a mile from my front door. And I saw a car wanting to turn right. And it's on the right-hand side of the road, about 6 foot gap to the left. So I thought, right, he's turning right to these shops. I'll undercut. So I undercut. What I didn't realise, instead of pulling over to the shops, this driver had waved another car away from the shops to vacate the position. So this car pulled away and overtook the static car that I was undertaking. And as I undertook, and this other car overtook, we met. She clipped my back wheel. I was going downhill. My Garmin said afterwards, my last recorded speed was 25 miles an hour. All I remember is my back wheel jackknifing and me thinking, uh-oh. I remember my body leaving the bike. I remember the impact on my left shoulder. Then my head went clonk off the floor. Somebody tried lifting me up to my feet. I said, no, I can feel. It was like the cartoons when you got the little birdies round your head. I was dazed. I said, just leave me, I bum scooch to the side of the road. I was bleeding from my ear, which in the end wasn't like a brain hemorrhage or anything like that. Excuse me. It was, I know I'm naughty. I had Samsung earbuds in, listening to a podcast. But what I did is, in the settings, I turned pass-through. So what that does is, it turns the microphones on. So any external noise comes through the earbuds as well as the podcast, so I can people talking in the room, blah, blah, blah. So that had scratched the inside of my ear. Without going into too much detail, my helmet was split. I had an impinged shoulder. I had a delayed onset concussion, which was horrible. Processing information just took longer. Trying to complete a sentence, getting stuck on words. Like, what's the word? What's the word? But that was happening in every sentence. Lasted 6 to 8 weeks, I think. Was not nice. Makes you feel special. So yeah, I'm insured by Bikemo. Highly recommended. They paid me out to get the bike repaired. But every time I looked at the bike, it was just a visual reminder of nearly getting killed. So I advertised it. I actually got pretty close to what I paid for it. The guy was buzzing with it. Said he was gonna put some new like derailleur and shifter hoods on. It's just scuffed, everything worked. And the money that Bikemo gave me to get the bike repaired, with the money I got from selling it, I picked up a Specialized Turbo Vado SL. I ride it occasionally, but it was primarily for my son to come and join his old man on rides. I'm at 17 miles an hour average. Never seen that. I'm still in eco, but vast majority of this ride, I'm sure you're aware, I'm going way above the speeds the bike can help. Right, I'm going to put some music on, see you in a bit. Visibility's getting low now. Be interested to see, in higher bit rate, how well these glasses perform in low light. Go through, now and forever I hold you. Nowhere to go, go I follow. 100 beats per minute. 18 miles an hour my heart rate is. It's a lot of organic food. I wish the Miler Pulsar 1 display had a backlight, but it don't. I can't see what power I'm putting out now. Unless I go through the Garmin pages, which I don't want to do. Coming up to 20 miles in, about 3-4 miles away from home. Tuesday evening ride. Last week I only did like 8-9 miles on the canal. On the hybrid. Just busy week. The week before, 50 odd miles in the Peak District. Average speed 16.25. It was a smash fest, really. But when you put one of these lightweight e-road machines without blowing my own trumpet, slightly experienced, reasonably fit cyclist, there you go, I can be humble. Performance is amazing. I mean, I had a look at how much battery I'd used in 20 miles. not even 20%. Not even 20%. And this Scott Addict eride has a small 236 watt-hour battery, the smallest that you can get on the X20. I mean, yeah, I'm not up in the hills, but it just shows, for near enough all this ride, well, the average 17 miles an hour shows you I've not been leaning on the motor whatsoever. But any of the hills, I've just put it up to level 2. But when I put it up to level 2, I don't sit back. I actually get out of the saddle and smash the power out. Getting up to the top of a hill at 15, 16 miles an hour is a lot of fun. Makes you feel like you're on the Pro Tour. I'm still at 17.1. Please, I just want to get home at 17 miles an hour average. Never have I ever done that. I knew my fitness was getting there. And to be honest with you, a lot of it is down to dietary changes. Losing a bit of weight. But also doing what I've never really done before, which is forget health food when it comes to cycle days. Fuel, and I've never done that. And I feel like now, that policy's now paying dividends. Because when I'm approaching a hill, I feel like I've got the snap in my muscles. It's a great feeling. Right, music's going back on, I'm going to shut up. Open here. I can't see potholes. I know this is a bumpy road, so I'm going right in the middle of the road. I could go down the lane, it's downhill, but it's not lit. I'm wearing these sunglasses, which are my recording device. I'm going to stick to the roads. Let's keep my speed above 18. My word. I've never rode a bike where 18 miles an hour with no assist off the bike. It's just, for me, being used to my other bikes, I feel like I could do it all day. Hence the reason why I'm chatting. If I had someone cycling with me now, I could just chat along. While whizzing along at 18, 90 miles an hour on a flat. I'm doing 19. I need a drink. Here's the world's lightest bike bottle, the Eride Tex Fly. It's only £6. Nice and squishable as well to put the juice in your mouth. I must say, not only is this bike amazing, I've got to give a massive shout out to Bikes and Gear in Knutsford, where I bought it from. It was on the Black Friday sale. I asked if I could go down and sit on the bike in person, and by the time I went, the Black Friday sale was over because they don't open Mondays. But the manager said, no, you inquired during the sale period, I'll keep the price for you. Tried it. I said I thought the Scott Addict RC is supposed to be a quite aggressive racing position. So apparently it is. But what Scott did on the eride, it might have the RC name, but it's actually quite an endurance orientated geometry. So compared to my Ribble, it's actually slightly higher. When it came to collecting the bike, how about this for a legend? The manager had put on Scott's in-house brand Synchro. They're a carbon fibre bottle case, stuck that on for free. And because I asked him how you change the gears, going up and down the gears, he put the £95 Marla Pulsar 1 display in the bag with the charger and all that, and went, that's for you, £95, just put it in the bag for free. What an absolute legend. So Kieran, thank you. I'll have to link him to the video. I'm struggling with this lack of visibility now. If I'm hitting a rough patch or a pothole, I can't see it. I've got my light on, but it's one of those to be seen by, not to see with. So it ain't gonna light up the road ahead. But to be honest with you, me riding at this time of night is an extreme rarity. I've not done it in years. Come on, Leon. 17 miles an hour average, come on. Wow, I've just got a second win there. I think I've been easing off the power. I'm at 239 average. I think my FTP over 20 minutes is about 280. But this is going to be about 1 hour and 25, at about 240 watts. To be honest with you, I've been extremely comfortable with that power output. Life in shadow seems such a tragedy. A temptation to ever be fantasy. Me awoken, my arms for all eternity. I'm singing along to the Slow Readers Club Manchester band. I know members of the band, but I'm not going to go into that. Come on! Photograph. What am I doing here? 20 miles an hour on a flat. Oh shit. It's got speed bumps. I didn't even see them. Well, this video's not for kids now, is it? I don't know where I'm going to go here. I might take this hill in turbo, but put down the power as well. Oh man, there's no there's no need to put down the power. You just spin your legs. 4% at 16 miles an hour. Wow. That's me done.